I smile back at them with straight teeth, cause none of y'all can say you made me. It took a lot more than my blood, sweat, and tears. It's a plenty in my years, but now it face me. Looking at them now, I'm sticking out my tongue, cause I'm praised by they sons. I got my little shorty and she say I'm number one. Saying can I pull this off, but I pull it off for fun. And if they say I made it, then I did it pretty.
The 2000s, one of the best decades of all time, and a decade a majority of us were brought into the world. I mean, we really had the best childhood, from Disney Channel shows to Kobe and LeBron running the league in the 2000s, and we can't forget about the Tim Duncan-led Spurs, who got 3 rings during this decade. We had so many iconic moments in this decade as well, and it truly showed us what a special decade of basketball can really mean to us fans. But now we're in 2025, and some of us need a refresher of just how good the 2000s were. So let's hop into a time machine and look back at some of the best moments from the 2000s. 2000, and the new millennium was officially here, and Heelys was still the cool shoe at the time. At this time, Disney was just peaking with some of their shows like Lizzie McGuire and later on Hannah Montana, and the world of the NFL was just seeing one of their newest brightest stars in Tom Brady enter the league, and MLB was still a Derek Jeter and Yankee dominated league. As far as the NBA goes, the year 2000 was the official beginning of the Shaq and Kobe era, and that 2000 playoff run is usually overlooked. The Lakers could have left that year without a ring if it wasn't for Kobe dropping 25 points in a Game 7 that was capped off with one of the most iconic plays in NBA history.
Portland has 3 timeouts left. The Lakers have 2. Bryant to Shaq!
The Lakers would go on to win the championship, officially kicking off the Shaq and Kobe dynasty. 2001, in the year of Allen Iverson, in the year of the unfortunate events of 9/11. 24 years later, and it's still a tragedy that affects us even to this day. Prayers up to everybody who got affected by that. But back to basketball. The 2001 season was mostly dominated by the Lakers, as they would get the 2nd seed in the West, only trailing behind the Tim Duncan-led Spurs, who were the 1st seed. Allen Iverson would take home his first and only MVP that season and would have a playoff run for the ages, taking out the Pacers, Knicks, and Bucks en route to the NBA Finals, where he would face the undefeated Lakers. Yeah, you heard me correctly, the undefeated 11-0 Lakers, who were looking to complete the perfect playoff run. But that nigga Iverson said he wasn't going down without a fight.
Iverson, bothered by Lou. Iverson, yes.
How about that?
And steps over Tyronn Lue.
7 straight points by Iverson. Looked like he was dead in the water.
The Sixers by 4.
48 points on Kobe and Shaq's head, taking a 1-0 lead on the previously undefeated Lakers. But then the Lakers would snap back into it and complete the gentleman's sweep. Kobe and Shaq raw dogged them niggas to a repeat and headed into the next season looking for a three-peat. 2002, the year of Kobe and Shaq. This year was really just Kobe and Shaq dominating the NBA. They would steamroll through the playoffs before going down 3-2 versus the Kings in the conference finals. Then, possibly the most rigged game in NBA history would happen, and it's still being debated today if that game was the game that led to the Lakers winning it all. Look man, as a neutral fan, that shit was really fishy, but come on now. We're 23 years in the future, and we can't do anything about it. The Lakers would win the title that season and complete the three-peat over the Nets in the 2002 finals, and Shaq and Kobe were seen as an unstoppable force for many years to come. Or so we thought. 2003, the year of Tim Duncan and the year of the Spurs dynasty. The Spurs would dominate the NBA throughout the season, as Kobe had to deal with off-the-court issues of the Colorado case, and with the wear and tear of their deep championship runs, the Spurs had a pretty free lane to take over the West that year. And that's exactly what they did. Duncan taking home the 2003 MVP, which was his second MVP after his first one in 2002, and he would have one of the most dominant finals performances in NBA history, putting up around 24 points a game and 17 rebounds a game, and in the series clinching game, he had a near quadruple double to close out the Nets in 6 games. Duncan would take home his second ring and second finals MVP, and David Robinson would call it a career after winning his second and last NBA championship. In the summer of 2003, a draft would occur, and the Cavs would have the #1 pick. This would lead us to one of the most iconic NBA draft nights in history and introduced us to the future and the future face of the league for many decades to come.
With the first pick in the 2003 NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select LeBron James.
On their own at 19, living on assistance, food stamps, and here they are just a short time later.
(2004), the most forgotten year in NBA history. The Shaq and Kobe era was officially on the way out, and the Spurs were coming off a championship season that they weren't able to capitalize on. LeBron James was officially in the league, and people were still iffy on if he could live up to the hype of being compared to the greatest player of all time, Michael Jordan. LeBron would have a pretty good rookie year, putting up around 20 points a game, 5 rebounds a game, and 5 assists per game, and would capture the 2003 Rookie of the Year award. The Lakers would acquire Karl Malone and Gary Payne when they were dead-ass washed and their knees were literally shot, and this was the first attempt at forming a super team in the modern era. This would work out for the Lakers for the first few rounds of the playoffs, as they would take out the Houston Rockets, barely pass by the Spurs in a 6-game classic series, and would take out the MVP and Kevin Garnett and his Timberwolves in 5 games to officially advance to the NBA Finals to meet up with the Pistons. This would end up becoming the end of the Shaq and Kobe Lakers as we knew them, as Kobe shot them out of the finals, and the Pistons would upset the Lakers in 5 games, officially putting an end to the Shaq and Kobe Lakers, and Shaq would end up leaving the Lakers that very offseason to join another great and upcoming shooting guard in Dwayne Wade. This would usher in the next era of NBA basketball, but this was just the beginning of how the 2000s would reshape the NBA forever. Thanks for watching. Part 2 coming real soon, and until next time, stay driven.
And I don't have the quote exactly, that Shaquille O'Neal maybe has paid off women in the past. When's the last time you talked to Shaq, and did you ever apologize for those statements?
You know, I haven't had the opportunity to talk to him directly. But if I do get that opportunity, I definitely.
Why not, Kobe? It's been months. Why not?
Man, I can try to track him down, but I don't have his number or anything like that. Man, I was able to get a message to him, through a mutual friend. But December 25th sounds like a good day to me to kind of talk to him and tell him I never meant any kind of way to bring anything of his personal business out to the light like that.
Kobe.
All left, but you can't keep calling. When I touch down, the rain keep falling. Better hold me and just keep stalling. Cause I don't ever wanna leave when I'm all in. And you look better on my side. Yeah, you always stand on my mind. Ay, and know we're running out of time, but I can't let go just cause I belong to you.